So I went to a card show this morning with my boys. I mentioned this in a video I made yesterday. Was not expecting to make another video today, but if I don't get it out today, not sure when I will. Plus, you know, when stuff's fresh, you just want to talk about it. So I just thought I'd share a little bit with you. I had some definite highlights to today. It was really cool, a really fun day. Of course, just going with my boys is fun. It's about a 45-minute drive from my house or so, 45 minutes. And so just spending that time driving there and driving back and just talking about things and having conversations. You know, my older boy is 13, my younger boy is 11. So it's just a fun age to interact and try to continue to build the relationship and to have fun with them. And they're both Pokemon collectors more than anything else, although one does a little bit of football, one does a little bit of basketball, but mostly Pokemon. So we kind of go for card shows that have a little bit of everything, which this one was advertised as such. So we just had a really good time. One of the fun things that happened with that is my prior to this last week, as we were kind of leading up to the day, I have some Pokemon cards that just as I've kind of interacted with them from years past, and so I gave them each one that was not an expensive card, but like a $20 card, and said, what I want you to do is trade up, see what you can get at the card show. And so I gave them each a card, and they each took some of their own cards, and I gave them each $20 and said, just see what you can do. They both came home with a lot more and a lot better cards than they went with. And then my younger son, he even came back with more money. So it's just kind of funny. I gave him $20, he came back with 25. So it's just funny. These kids, they know how to work these systems, and they just were having a lot of fun doing it. So it's just a great. So of course that's what we talk about the whole way home. Just kind of their fun, and we talk about what we all got and what we didn't get, and so that was a big highlight. Another highlight was I met face to face another YouTuber. I was not expecting that. You know, this was in Butler, Pennsylvania. There aren't a lot of YouTubers around here, but there are some. And so I'm wearing, you can't tell, but I'm wearing a Ranger Studios from Scott. I'm wearing one of his t-shirts, and someone else was too. It's actually Steven Math Bowler. He gave me something I'll show you in a little bit, but he gave me something that I'll talk about when I show my different pickups. And then, so 3 kind of big highlights. My third highlight was I didn't pick up a lot of cards. I take that back. I picked up a few cards, but nothing really, nothing mind-blowing. I picked up some really neat things. But I did pick up one that I was especially excited about. It's a new direction for my collecting. It's kind of something as I'm preparing to finish up or get close to finishing my Hall of Fame binder project. I'm kind of wanting to go into some pre-war. I've got some kind of rough direction for that, so I picked up a pre-war card that I'm pretty excited about. So I'll show you that as well. I think that was it until I just show you the cards. Just had a really good time. I really enjoy going to card shows. Didn't spend a lot of money, didn't spend a lot of time, but being able to spend the time with family, being able to meet somebody face to face. We just interacted a little bit even on YouTube. So just kind of seeing he had some tables set up, so just kind of fun to see his stuff. But anyway, that's it for now. Let me show you some stuff, and we'll continue on the other side. So the first thing I'll show you is what Steven Math Bowler gave to me. Gave me a Steve Blass picture. He mentioned that I could send this in and he would sign it. So if you're wondering what my next TTM is going to be, now you have your answer. So pretty cool that he gave me that. A very nice, Steven, if you watch this, very nice to meet you. Very nice to visit with you for a little bit. He had some really cool things that he was selling. But most of what I picked up was pretty inexpensive stuff. I picked up some things these were $1, just for the panels, the old Hostess panels. So I picked up a couple that had Pirates. This one happened to also have a Hank Aaron on it, but that one had Rennie Stennett, and this one had Willie Stargell. Honestly, I could have picked up, I don't know, 20 or 30 different panels if I would have wanted. Went to a table that had a bunch of cards for $1, so I just picked up a bunch of these. Not a bunch of these, but I picked up one of these. I've been trying to get this set. Not trying to get this set. I'm kind of slowly just picking up a few as I can. And so I grabbed that one. I grabbed a Doc Ellis. I'm kind of working on his run. And this was one I did not have. I think all the Doc Ellis cards I have are from his years as a pirate. So just some other cards. I like these Rookie Cup cards, and these were in really good shape. That pen mark on the corner, that's on the sleeve. That's not on the card. And so he had a couple of these that were just really good looking, nice corners, good looking cards. And I like the Rookie Cups, and so I was just going to pick up some of those. Actually, pick up Rookie Cups. Those always make me think of Lou over at Godlike Collectibles. And so I also picked up this, thinking of Lou. Vic Powers. Again, just a nice looking card. Again, and again, it was just $1. That's what that one cost me. So very nice Vic Power. Got a Tommy John. I'm assuming someday he's going to make it into the Hall of Fame. Another Rennie Stennett. couple interesting ones that really, like I was like, wait a minute, like I have this Stargirl, but I don't have that Stargirl. That's the O-Pee-Chee. So an O-Pee-Chee Stargirl for $1, and an O-Pee-Chee Dave Parker for $1 as well. So stuff like that, you just kind of had to dig through. He had a bunch of different stuff like that. He had a Matty Alou from the '70s set, nice looking card. I've commented on this before. I really like the backs on the '70s. Tecove, love Tecove. What a great pitcher he was. Then he had a couple of these, the old Donruss Hall of Fame heroes. He had a lot of Pirates in his boxes. So these are the Wayner brothers, Paul and Lloyd Wayner. And then he had Ralph Kiner as well. A couple more from his boxes. I think these were all from the same guy. Just cards I didn't have. Maybe had when I was a kid and just lost over the way sometime. But the Frank Thomas rookie card, it's not the no name, of course. And then the classic. I mean, is it the best card in the '87 set? I don't know, but it might be. The Bo Jackson Future Stars. I loved those cards. A few cards that were a few dollars more than that. Again, nothing big today. I picked up a Bill Mazeroski, which I might have this one. Honestly, this one wasn't in great shape, and that's exactly how he had it. It was loose. It was in a binder. And the thing that I got from that same guy that I was actually much more interested in, I'm not sure how this is going to show, but this is actually really cool. This is a panel of cards. So it's an uncut sheet of Negro League stars from Pittsburgh. So you have all these cards. You've probably seen some of these cards individually. I know they made them in other ways, but you know, Satchel Paige, Martin Diego, Cool Papa Bell, Buck Leonard, Rube Foster. I mean, Pop Lloyd. Come on now, like this is just a really cool. I don't know how I would display this, but it's just really cool. And of course, you have information on the back. And he's like, I asked him how much he wanted for it. I said, how much do you want for that? He said, I don't know, $5. He picked them up at a game back in 1988. He had a couple of them. And I said, for $5, that feels like you can't go wrong. I will take that. Thank you very much. So again, I'm not sure what to do with something like that. I'm not sure if I could find a frame, because it kind of feels like something I'd like to hang somewhere and display all together. I certainly won't be taking it apart, but just a very cool little item. At a table not too far from him, I picked up a couple 54 Bowman Hoyt Wilhelm for $6. Just a nice card. I like the 54s. And he had the Mini Minoso as well. And that was $4. So $10 for the two of those. You better believe I'll be doing that all day long. You can see he had a sticker on it. It looked like he had it priced for $20. But for me, it was just $4. Another guy picked up a couple of the 59s. Or the 58s, not the 59s. Red Shane East. Shane East. I don't have many of these cards. I don't have much of Red at all. I have one of his other cards. Of course, shout out to John over at Nerding Out with Cards. But again, $5, Hall of Famer, 59. Pretty good shape. I'm going to pick that one up. Picked up one other one, 58. I keep saying 59. I know it's 58. It says it right there on the sticker. There's the Eddie Matthews. This is a beautiful card. I love this card. Love the background. Actually, Dylan was just showing his version of this card, which is better centered than mine, top to bottom. This is really good left to right, but of course, Dylan's is better centered than mine is. That will always be true. Then from the last table that I purchased from, I picked up a Topps Giant, Warren Spahn. He had a few of these. Actually, he had the Clemente for not a bad price. And I maybe should have gotten it, but again, I'm trying to save, and so I didn't want to spend. I didn't want to spend for the Clemente, but this, and he had some others. They just weren't as good a shape. This Spawn was just, it was clean, and I basically got that for free because I paid for this one. And this is my, I think probably my highlight as far as the cards of the day. My highlight of the day was this time with my boys, but the highlight as far as cards is my first dive into, it's not my first dive. I do have a pre-war card, but my first dive into pre-war cards that are kind of ones that I care about and know about. And this is a mecha. It's called the Double Folder. If you know anything about these, it's got two players on it, both for the Pirates. This is Fred Clark. He is a Hall of Famer. This is from 1911. And then that is Bobby Byrne. Just a really cool card. I'm not going to show you how that works, but I'm sure you can imagine it. You fold the, it's got a crease right here. I'm sure someone has, actually almost guaranteed that somebody has folded it before me. You can kind of see where it has been bent. But you would fold it over there and you could see old Bobby Byrne using the legs of Fred Clark. So just a cool card. A lot of nice color. I know it has a little bit of damage here at the top. For those of you that it's bothering, I don't think it's probably bothering many of you. Most of you feel the same way about the stuff that I do. But just, I know it's there. And I honestly just didn't care. I got it for a nice price. Had been wanting to add some Fred Clark to my collection. He had a play ball Archie Vaughn for a pretty good price, which I almost picked up as well, but honestly, it's, they say sometimes you remember the cards you didn't get as much as the cards you did. I might be thinking about that Archie Vaughn, but it wasn't, I want to get some Archie Vaughn, but that's not the one I want first. He had, actually the kind of funny, let me just tell a quick story. He had a Hassan triple folder, and I want the Hassan triple folder with Fred Clark on it. That's the one I'm looking for. When I'm ready to get it. But he had a Hassan triple folder, but it was not the one with Clark on it. So I was just talking about the Hassan and how much I enjoyed the cards and want to pick one up. But I said I was looking for the one with Fred Clark. And he said, oh, well, I've got a Fred Clark here. And that's when this one came up. And I had just gotten to the show. I mean, I think I'd seen one or two tables before that. I saw Roberto Clemente Super Collector, who had just an amazing collection. But so I said, well, I need to walk around. So I walked around, and then I came back and picked up that Clark. So anyway, that's it for today. I didn't spend a whole lot, but I spent enough and had a good time. Just really had a fantastic time. But I've got to get going. Today is my wife's birthday. She's at work. I've got some work I need to do here to prepare for celebrating. We'll do that tomorrow. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate that, and appreciate all the comments and stuff. I really enjoy the interaction on here. So thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.